Honey's the daughter, full of bright light. Harry's her dad, guiding her right. Shoulder to shoulder, through the good and the bad. Faithful forever, that's Honey and Dad. Sharing their hearts out with stories so true. Laughs, tears, and wisdom, all waiting for you. Rest for the weary, joy for the sad. For the stuff you hold dearly, watch Honey and Dad. Don't miss their show, or you'll miss out on the gold. Faith, family, love stories never get old. From laughter to lessons, they've got it all here. With love in each moment, and faith ever near. Tune in for the journey, the joy and the cheer. Rest for the weary, joy for the sad. For the stuff you hold dearly, watch Honey and Dad. Don't miss their show, or you'll miss out on the gold. Faith, family, love stories never get old. From laughter to lessons, they've got it all here. With love in each moment, and faith ever near. Tune in for the journey, the joy and the cheer. Rest for the weary, joy for the sad. For the stuff you hold dearly, watch Honey and Dad. Honey's the daughter, full of bright light. Harry's her dad, guiding her right. Shoulder to shoulder, through the good and the bad. Faithful forever, that's Honey and Dad.
Hey, welcome back to the Honey and Harry Show. I'm Honey.
And I'm Harry.
And we have been missing for quite a few months.
Oh, yeah. We've been out of pocket for a while.
With good reason.
Yeah.
Good reason. We've had some crazy stuff happen.
Yes. When's the last show? The
last show we had was Juice Plus with Patrick Van Duzy. And I was just texting with him just now. He invited me to go to like an open house they're having tomorrow. I think it's tomorrow. I can't make it because I'm going to have my grandkids, I think. But to try some of their new products and stuff. So nice to let you try it before you buy it. Yeah. So he was great. Yeah. But that was our last show.
That was January 7th.
Yeah, that's crazy. That was our last show. Kind of, I got hacked.
Yeah. Most of our fans are actually on Facebook. So we have 400 plus out there on Facebook they're watching. And many of them connected up through Honey's account because, she knows a lot of these people. And then her account gets hacked. Crazy.
Yeah, it got hacked and everything got hacked. I could not figure it out for the longest time. And whoever hacked me, if you are watching, shame on you. And I don't know where you're going when you die. That's all I'm going to say.
Yeah. But we had done 60 shows prior to tonight.
Oh, wow.
From like September 2023 all the way through January of 2024. And it sort of felt like a marathon, that's 26 miles. Well, the 60 shows, that was not every week, but nearly every week.
Nearly every week. And it was great. So I got my Facebook finally. I think I have it fixed. I still don't even know. I think it's fixed. Hopefully I had like several. I know I had probably asked, people kept saying like how many, hey, Allison, hey, Patricia, hey, Lindsay. people were asking me, like, I have several different, I'd have to keep making new accounts anyways, but I think I got the right one. I think I got it right. So
Yeah.
obviously,
Well,
but anyways,
Facebook has a hacking problem apparently because even long before that, I used to get friend requests from people that I already knew were my friends,
yeah, I
and a
did
new one
too.
would pop up with their face, and yet they only had like two friends and one picture,
It was
and you know
weird.
that that's not really their account. So
Yeah.
I don't know if they fixed that problem, but apparently not entirely, huh?
Yeah, and I wasn't selling. Just to let everyone know, I would never sell anything probably on my Facebook as cheap as they were selling stuff. If I was going to sell stuff, but it was not like I wasn't selling
Yeah,
anything.
and
So
it's in all likelihood the sales items were all it's a scam too,
yeah,
just to get people to spend money or send them a check or give them a bank account or who knows what, you know.
yeah, and I'm not reaching out wanting your number and all the things. So they were doing all kind of weird stuff. So if somebody does, I mean, they're gonna do somebody else's account for sure.
Right.
So just be aware because that happened. Oh, we miss you too, Allison.
Yeah,
Um,
I think a lot of people are used to the fact that those kind of things happen now, but nonetheless, it's distressing as all heck
oh
when
my
it
God,
does happen.
it was funny because like I don't know any of my passwords to anything. So it's like I'm having to like, what's my? I don't know my password. Like how? And then I have to like ask for my password, and then they're like, so it was a. Now I have my passwords written down, but who knows where they are? I don't know where I wrote them down at.
But now they to their credit, I think Facebook was trying to work with you in some regard to get things fixed, weren't they?
Kinda.
Kind
Yeah,
of.
they were kind of helping me, but it's hard. I mean, it's just hard because it's kind of out of their control. But look, my friend Denise, and she's a honey too. So, hey, honey, Denise. Oh yeah. So I'm gonna tell this story real quick because Lindsay's bringing it up.
Sure.
So okay, so that's what happened then, and so I've been traumatized about the whole hacking episode because that lasted like
Months.
months. And anybody that knows me knows that I'm look, I have a clean house and all that, but I'm the most unorganized person. Like I can't keep track of nothing. But today I was at the mall and I was getting a dress, trying on shoes, and I lost my phone. I was outside talking to somebody. I'm
Oh,
not gonna go through the whole thing. Saw my good friend Bridget, which love her, wish she would come on the show. But anyway, saw her, then I realized I didn't have my phone. Then I go running back downstairs to the shoe place. They said nobody turned it in. So then I called my daughter and my daughter's like, "Oh, I see it. It's outside the Dillard." So I'm like running, running as fast as I can because if I'm thinking like if I see somebody with that phone, I'm gonna jump on them and I'm gonna beat them up and I'm gonna get my phone. And I didn't see the phone, didn't see anybody. So then I come back in and before I said all that, wait, these two people helped me and they told me their names and I forgot if they're watching tonight, I forgot your name, of course. I forgot your name, but they were the kindest little couple, super sweet. They told me, use my phone to call your daughter or somebody that because you have find my friends. I
right.
wasn't even thinking because I was just in an all-out panic. And so anyways, I go back upstairs, couldn't find the phone. I use another person's phone. Then my daughter Lindsay's like, "Oh, somebody has your phone in the shoe department." So I run back down to the shoe department and I'm running. Like when I tell you I'm running, I'm like running. So I go to the shoe department. All the little people are there waiting for me to come back. And the little guy has it. I have my phone. It's right here. Somebody turned it in. So I was like, I've been pissed off lately about things, and I don't know why. I just been, I mean, I've been kind of disappointed with some people lately. But then this made me not be disappointed in
Right.
people because, like, all these people were helping me, and no, they didn't have to help me.
Right.
They did not have to help
Right.
me.
Strangers.
Strangers were helping me, and it like gave me faith again. Like, there are so many good people out there. Quit being a sourpuss about if you're mad about this one or that one. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, anyways, that being said, I got my phone too, so that's another thing. But anyways, I was just very busy I was watching my grandson for a while and but now we're back. And Darren,
Yeah.
I want to tell Darren I'm not stressing my dad out. No. Am I stressing?
No,
He's like, I'm stressing you out.
Hey, listen, we're all through the teenage years, so we don't have to worry about that.
Yeah, that was the real stress, Darren. Oh, hey, Cajun Pilot. I'm so glad. Yeah. Oh, and where's our Honey and Harry that Cajun Pilot made us?
It's on top of the microwave.
The microwave,
Yeah.
doggone it. He made
Yeah.
us a
3D printing, right?
yeah, genius. So,
Yeah.
anyways,
Crazy.
yeah,
Thank you.
yeah,
Thank you, Cajun
thank you
Pilot.
so much. Anyways, so what have you been doing now that we just know I've been like running in circles being a nut?
Well, let me first say that
Hey, Wendy.
I was exhausted after the 60 episodes.
Oh no.
Oh yeah, I was. Because it's for me, it's a little bit easier to sit here than it is to sit over there in the Mr. Producer spot.
Yeah, you got the hard job.
Well, it's really not hard pushing buttons, but if you push the wrong one, then the stress like goes crazy. I remember one episode we were having a lot of problems for about maybe 12 weeks or something like that. Things were working, things were not working. And one time, and I can't remember who it was, God bless them, they were souls, but something went wrong and I banged on that glass desk over there. And it's like, because I was so upset. But I was upset with me,
Yeah.
But I was really upset.
People remember that.
Good thing. So but we got past all of that, and then we had episodes actually working for a long time. So that was kind of cool.
Sure, I'll never forget the one we had Jesse on, and he was talking about Mamu Mardi Gras, and you were crawling across the floor, and I could not focus for nothing in the world. I was like, "What? I don't even know what he was saying." I was like, "What?"
Yeah, it is a little distracting. Well, you see, my camera, the one I'm looking at right now, is not where Mr. Producer can get a hold of it. So if he wants to go change something and like move it just a little bit from one side to the other, he has to crawl across the floor to do it.
It's funny.
Yeah,
that was a funny one.
Yeah, it was kind of funny.
Yeah.
But so what has been going on with me? Well, beginning right around January 20th, which was only a couple of weeks after our last show, as many of you guys know, last year I entered into this Exodus 90 thing, okay, which is 90 days prior to Easter Sunday. And it's a men's program where men get deeper into prayer, deeper into self-sacrifice and things like that. They call it asceticism, big word, but it means, some sacrifices, and fraternity. Because, a lot of men, they don't have friends they can share the deepest things with.
Mm-hmm.
They can share hunting, they can share sports, they can share, whether they're being nagged or not or something like that.
Yeah.
But to have someone where you can lay your soul out and share things with, struggles and stuff like that, it's not easy to get. So one of the aspects of Exodus 90 is you build a fraternity where you meet every week with these gentlemen, and I was awfully impressed. Now so we started that January 20th, and it goes all the way to April 20th, which was Easter Sunday, right? And last year I was like Mr. Exodus 90 Nazi. Okay, so I was crazy, and I was oh man,
all in.
I was all in, and I was making sure everybody else knew I was all in, and you would have trouble if you were disturbing my asceticisms, So if you're playing the TV just a little too loud, then that's not good. So anyway, so that one person said, you gotta get off of this. That's way too killer instinct.
You're so extreme.
Yeah, way too extreme.
Yeah. Yeah.
So but I'm not a kind of person that easily goes into a lax mode. I'm usually in a strict mode, so it's much harder to do.
Dad's always been extreme.
Pretty much, yeah. So this time I decided to be a little more relaxed about it, although try not to blow away the disciplines, because you're pulling each other through this. It's men trying to help other men sacrifice something so they can let go of some attachment they have. For me, I got lots of attachments, but one of them is binge eating after supper with crap, junk food, candy, stuff like that.
Yeah, you and Mom were a pair.
Yeah, we love that. Well, it's not like we don't have access. So anyway, so there's that, and even another one that I struggle with. I struggle with humility. I don't know if anybody else struggles with that, but struggle with trying to be more humble and so forth. So these are kind of things you work on,
Mm-hmm.
And so this time I relaxed things a little bit, but God worked with me anyway. So that was really good, and some things improved. I wanted to bring this slide up so I can show you. Let's see where it is. Yeah, the Exodus 90 slide. And you can see there that's Moses parting the Red Sea, and
Yeah.
so the people can go through it, you know. And what you can also see there is a picture of the choir at St. George. And in the little yellow circle around the head there is little old me in the choir. Okay, so one of the things that I was presented with as an opportunity to grow in humility was to go sing in the choir instead of playing my instrument.
Yeah.
Okay, and for me, singing is not my strength. Okay, I feel comfortable and I'm in my comfort
said-
zone with the instrument. But when it gets to be I'm going to sing and other people can hear me making that noise out of my mouth, and for the last 30 years, while Margaret was practicing with the choir, I've been sitting home on Wednesday nights.
I know. Yeah.
So I never practiced. So there's a lot of skills I don't have. So God bless, sent me the grace to say yes to singing during the Easter Triduum, and that means I had to like get the music out and look at it
Yeah, that's
and
that's
practice it.
tough. I mean,
And
yeah.
and I made my share of wrong notes with stuff, but it was a really good experience, and that helped me a lot. So that was one of the gifts of that time. So then those 90 days were very good, and of course Easter Sunday feels good because you get to drop that. One of the things that men struggle with the most in the Exodus 90, it's called taking a cold shower every morning.
Yeah, that's crazy.
So
But they say that's good for you. Then the
It
cold
is.
plunge.
That's
It's good
right.
for you.
I've watched some. I watched some medical shows that say,
Yeah.
doing that cold thing strengthens your immune system. So
Because remember, we had on our show.
did.
We did. We
We
had
did.
what Kathy and Tramika.
Right.
They were
With the
on.
science,
Yeah.
tell us about all that.
Yeah,
That's
and
exactly
that was one of the things they had at the Sante Rejuvenation Center. They had a cold plunge.
right. But a lot of the men, when they get in the shower to take that cold plunge, they scream because
Oh yeah.
the first 15 seconds are pretty bad. But to me, it wasn't that big a deal, and it was a good way to start the day off.
Wakes you up.
Yeah. So anyway, that's a picture of the choir thing and stuff like
But
that.
wait, before you move on down, I
Yeah.
don't mean to interrupt you, but that picture, I just have to say, we all went yesterday we took the grandkids to see the King of Kings.
Ah, yes.
Yeah, that movie. And of course, William and I had to leave a few times because he wanted to get out.
A 3-year-old or less is hard to sit through.
He's still two.
He's still two. Yeah.
He's still two, and and I don't like sitting still either. So I was like, his mom took him for one time, and I was like, Callie, you stay. I'll take him this time. But
Right.
one of the parts I did get to see, which I think they should put this movie in every Catholic school.
The King of Kings. Huh?
Yes, because I don't know if anybody else went to Catholic school, but I did not like religion class.
It did not hold your attention.
I was bored. And I also thought, like, does it really matter if I'm okay or not? It's being a kid, just being
a kid.
stupid, like just being immature. That's what it is. It's being very, very immature because I was very, very immature. But watching that made me be like, oh, even at my adult self, I like watching the sea part.
Right.
Like you can read your Bible all you want, but sometimes you don't really understand it.
Right.
Like,
Sure
or you
enough.
can even do like I have the Hallow app,
Right.
and that helps me. But like for the children to see what they got to see and see Mary, really having to go knock and ask everybody, for a place to stay,
Right,
really see
right.
that she was hurting and
Right.
she was ready to have that baby.
Right.
And then having to leave and had the angel come down and warn them to leave.
Right.
Like it was so great that my grandkids got to see that.
Brings
So
it alive for
it
them.
did. So that was such a good, such a great movie. And I think every child, and I don't care if you're Catholic or not, every child should see that movie, don't you think? I mean,
Yes, indeed.
it explains the Bible.
Yes, and I think I'm going to see it tomorrow.
Oh, really? Okay, yeah, it's really good.
Tomorrow's date day, so I agreed to go see the movie.
No, it's a good look, and
No.
I'm not one to really walk away from the movie and be like, "My God, that was a good movie." This was like really great for the kids, and
Yes.
and it was good
Yes.
for the big person.
Absolutely.
So, anyways, I had to say that.
Good. Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
Okay. I don't want to spend all the time talking about what happened to me during the last 90 days, but I wanted to show something else. I mean, I wasn't just praying and meeting with my guys during those 90 days. So what was I doing, because
And you had people inside remodeling your bedroom.
that is true. That's true for the last 6 months, I think.
For the
It took a long time. But Allison and them got the floor down really quick.
Listen, he's like,
That was fabulous.
they are so good.
Yeah,
I mean, if you want your floors down, he does it like that.
Yeah,
And he's
absolutely.
so good.
It was really good.
Yeah.
Let's see. What I wanted to show was this next slide. And what do we have on here? Well, there's a picture of me standing like this in front of a piece of equipment. And there's a little chat GPT window down there. So what have I been doing? Well, I've been spending an awful lot of time working with artificial intelligence, okay, in particular ChatGPT. It just enthralls me. It's a tool. And the first thing I could think about, because I spent 50 years being a chemical engineer, not counting another 8 going to school, was, hey, man, can I use this some kind of way? So I spent a lot of the last several months working on trying to figure out how to apply this to the things I knew. So I spent a lot of time doing that. And I even started what they call a Substack, which is it's a writing channel, basically, where you write articles. And I'm writing articles about how you might use artificial intelligence in chemical engineering laboratory. So that's my unit operations lab show thing there. So I'm just getting started on this, but I'm really interested in seeing where this goes. Now, a lot of people will put AI in the really bad category. This thing's kind of creepy, and I understand where they are, but I look at it as, okay, a tool just to do work. Like when calculators first came out, actually, when I graduated chemical engineering, I got a HP 45, which was the best calculator they made at that time. But all it did was multiply numbers and do a few things like that, whereas you can do a lot more with the tools today. So I spent a lot of time in the last 3 months working on that kind of stuff too.
But don't you think too, like, I can remember like when we moved into our house, what was it, 20 years ago, however long it was. And I can remember they were like, oh, everybody's getting these flat screen TVs.
Yeah.
And they're like, you really don't want to put that thing. You might want to just put like a cabinet. You're going to be wanting to mount a TV up there. And me being, so against technology, which is so wrong, because my thing is, what you don't understand is lots of times what scares me.
Yes,
so if I don't understand something, I'm scared to use it or scared to do it. So I do this. I don't want to touch it. I don't want to fool with it because I'm not good at it. Well, we had our little 27-inch in our little box because I was damn determined to get it. And what happened 3 years later, we end up with the big screen TV. And it's just like, I can remember talking to my friend Susie when our kids were doing something and she had gotten the iPhone. I said, oh, I don't think I'm going to get that.
Yeah.
That iPhone's crazy. I'm not
What's all that stuff? I don't need that stuff.
She's like, no, I promise you're going to love it. I said, oh, I can't do that. That's going to be too hard. She's like, Lori, get the damn phone. Well, I got the phone and now, I'm fine. But it's just like, that's going to be the same way as all this chat, whatever it's called.
It could be. Now, kind of the worrisome feeling is that a number of the people who are behind actually in the development of this, they're very talented people, but a lot of them don't have a faith center, and they have a lot of off the wall weird ideas. So now this
phone is weird.
It is. It'll talk to you.
Some weird stuff.
Yeah. Well, the other day, all of a sudden, I'm sitting in I'm laying in the bed. It's at 6:18 in the morning, and my Alexa comes on and says, "Someone's at your front door." And I'm going like, "Well, who's at my front door at 6:18 in the morning?" And then it does it again. So somebody's at your front door. So then I go running out to see who's at my front door, And well, it was Matthew leaving, going to work. So that's
like at the Ring doorbell. That's the thing I have. Yeah. And so my husband was working in South Carolina, and like 6 o'clock, it was like 4 o'clock in the morning, and the Ring doorbell goes up, and I don't get up like a normal person. I jumped out of bed, fell flat on my face. The phone cord fell down. And then I have the Face ID because I'm trying to protect myself because I got hacked.
Right.
So it's not seeing my face. I can't open it. And I'm like, well, dang it, I'm just going to open up the blinds.
Right.
And it was like rain or something.
Yeah.
I was just like, I went through all that. I was like, well, I'm up for the day now.
Yeah. The technology can be awful intimidating.
It's intimidating.
Which is why, when I sit behind the Mr. Producer desk, it gets scary, But I only spent 2 days trying to get everything ready here. So, because in 3 months, I forgot how everything worked.
Really?
Yeah. And then, of course, half my software applications had updates during the time, and I'm afraid to click update because then nothing may work, And this afternoon, I did something, and all of a sudden, Facebook's not working, So it's like it can be infuriating, but we got it working for the show here, so
And
that's what.
I want to tell Wendy happy belated birthday.
Oh,
Miss
that's
you.
great. Thank
Yeah,
you so much.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay, so let's see what else I wanted to put up there. Oh, yeah. In case you haven't noticed, to Honey's left, you see a picture of Mary.
That's right. It's a
Uh, we,
beautiful picture
so
of
we have a
Mary.
new feature in our studio where we have a picture of, it's actually a canvas painting of
It's
Mary,
beautiful.
the Assumption of Mary.
Mm-hmm.
And so we have that sitting there next to Honey so that we can make sure that we're centered when we come in here to do the show. So that's a little bit of a change that you see, and you'll see it next to Honey right there when we're doing the show. So that's a little studio update with that. So a lot has happened since we last got together, and that was that the new president was inaugurated, and there's been a lot of chaos in tariff business and stuff like that. But we're not going to talk politics.
Oh
But
no, we're not talking
yeah, so
politics.
that's not our shtick. We don't do that.
No, we don't.
But some news that, of course, came as disappointment too, of course, is that Pope Francis got ill back in February, and he was in the hospital for like 38 days. And Easter Monday, he passed away at 12:35 Rome time.
He didn't. He did. He kept going out there with the people, and I don't think his doctors were wanting him to do all that.
Yeah, I guess it was 7:35 Rome time, 12:35 a.m. our time. But yeah, he
I heard that on TV.
yeah, he actually went out in the Pope Mobile and rode around the crowd.
Good for him.
He had during that whole period of being ill, he had a nurse. I don't remember the person's name, but they had a nurse that stayed with him the entire time of that illness, and they had a conversation about whether he could go out. He wanted to go out, but he asked his nurse. He said, "Okay, if I did," and he did. He went out. He looked more frail than before, but and then he was doing fine that evening. He had supper. And then around midnight, he passed away. I think it was some sort of stroke related thing or something like that. So we're in mourning now in the Christian Catholic world for 9 days after his death. And I think this Saturday at 10 a.m. Rome time, unfortunately that's 3 a.m. our time, the funeral will be held. And right now, he's been laying in state, and visitors are coming by to pay their final respects to him. So I have some good friends that went to Rome.
Oh, wow.
Went to Assisi first, and then went to Rome because they were hoping to see the canonization of Blessed Carlo Acutis, who was a 15-year-old boy.
Yes.
And he was well into the computer things. Okay,
Yeah.
he put a website together for Eucharistic miracles, and so he was an evangelist as a 15-year-old.
Isn't that crazy?
But
Amazing.
that unfortunately they're going to delay his canonization until they elect another pope. So, but of course, the family that went over there will actually be there for the funeral. So it's like a blessing in disguise. They get to experience something very unique as well, being over there for that. So we encourage you to pray for the repose of Pope Francis's soul, for wisdom and courage for the College of Cardinals as they meet after his funeral to start trying to decide who the next pontiff will be, and for all the world while we wait to see what happens.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're going to do some more shows besides this one, huh, honey?
Oh yeah, but I'm just saying, I hope we get a really good pope.
Yeah, that would be a good thing.
We need it. We need a really good pope.
Yes, and we pray for that.
Yeah, we need to.
But God's in charge, and so he's going to take care of his church regardless of what happens. Thank goodness.
Yes. But yeah.
So, do we have some other ideas for shows?
Yes. So, anyways, I have my daughter's mother-in-law coming next week, who is like just like the real estate god. I should say.
She's an Acadiana expert.
Let me just tell you something about Wendy. She knows her stuff backwards and forwards. She can, set a house. I mean, she just knows how to make a house look so good. She knows how to sell a house. She is the kindest, one of the most generous people I've ever met. She really loves her clients. Like she's just a good human, and that's why I want her on. And she's gonna, because the real estate world's been so strange lately.
Yeah.
The rates were so crazy high, and and then sometimes I think people think like, oh, I don't need a realtor. Oh, but you do.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, you need a realtor because they know all the things and
Right.
they protect you. They really
Exactly.
do. So I thought like with everything that's been going on, I know she just had the parade of homes in Lafayette.
And that's a big deal, of
That
course.
is a huge deal. So she's coming next week, and then I have some other businesses I'm looking at to come in and talk about
Right.
some cute things. I haven't really reached out to too many people, but I've reached out to a few people, some people with children and
Yep.
other things like that. So
So if you've seen our show any more than a couple of times, you know that we kind of uh, focus on getting family oriented and
businesses,
businesses, in the community.
anything in the
So
community to
yeah,
help the community. And I
we're
know
not sponsoring the big box store down the block,
no
but we
local.
we have people who are trying to, be good local business persons. We also get people in the health area
Yes,
quite a bit,
yes,
and people who are interested in helping the
others.
others in any
Yeah.
regard, be that people on the street or little children who need have special needs or something.
Special needs, and that's I have somebody that may it's really just amazing what she's doing. But anyways, so I have that, and then I don't know if Wendy's still on, but she knows Mary Miller's coming in May, so I'm
All
excited
right.
about that. And
Yeah. Talking about food.
uh, you
Yeah.
talk about a good cook.
Absolutely.
She's a great cook.
Regularly, I'll taste some of her delicacies.
Oh yeah, so she's coming on, and she's cooking. I think she's cooking for Kim Mulkey right now. I think.
Is that
Yeah, I
right?
think she does do a little bit of
That's
that.
high clientele
Yeah.
right there.
So food is good. So
Yeah,
I'm glad she's
that's right.
coming. Happy to have her, but really happy to have anybody that wants to come in and contribute something that
And
helps
needs a little bit of PR.
that needs a little bit of
Can
PR.
benefit from it.
Oh,
Charities.
we love any type of charity work,
Right.
any type of charity, any
Absolutely.
type of anything to help anybody to help their business get started. We're just want to do those things for
Right.
people.
And I wouldn't mind having somebody over that's like outdoorsy kind of thing, but it's not me.
It's not
Okay. I grew up with three brothers, and they all got the outdoorsy gene, and I got the indoorsy gene. Okay.
Dad went hiking and got the tick.
Yeah, they have the Audi, and I have the innie.
No,
But
you
so
got.
so if we could get somebody on who's interested in that, I know would have a bunch of other viewers.
Oh yeah,
But I
we
can't talk about it because the last time I went duck hunting, nearly froze to death.
Oh yeah, you don't want to
But
do
I
that.
did
Yeah.
enjoy watching how those real duck hunters can call in the birds. It was just
Be interesting to have somebody in about that, because I know, my boys. I mean, my
yeah.
husband and
Your men
they like
all
they
engaged.
like to
Yeah,
hunt.
love
They
that.
love to hunt, and
Like to eat the food.
yeah, everybody likes to eat the food. I don't want to kill an animal though. I love animals too much. I hate
Yeah.
seeing that. So
A friend of mine took me when I was back in school. This is a long time ago. But he said, "Let me take you hunting," because I mean I didn't know anything. So he brought the weapons, the gun, and we went out to the Angola Hills, way up there
oh
by the
wow.
prison. And I didn't, we were not that far from the prison, so we could have run into somebody who escaped.
Oh my
But
gosh.
but they
No.
didn't make it very far because the hills are like this. They're like
Hills are
this, and
crazy.
you
Yeah.
go 1 mile and you are worn out. So he points out something. He says, "Look, there's a squirrel over there." So I'm going, I can't. Yeah.
It
Oh
just,
yeah, there it is. Okay, I killed this poor squirrel. So
I'm
he
gonna.
skins it and everything because I wouldn't know what the heck to do with a squirrel.
I don't know. Sometimes I want to kill the squirrels in my
Well,
backyard.
that's a different
So
story.
I do. I'm like, the kids get
They
the
eat all
BB
the
gun.
bird feed, so there's that.
It makes me mad.
Yeah.
Yeah, they eat my bird seed.
Tree rats, some people call it.
I
Anyway,
get mad
so
with them.
I think that squirrel sat in our freezer for months and months and months and months, and God bless. I don't think we ever did eat it. I think we
Why?
finally.
Can you imagine if mom would have cooked that?
Well, she
No,
wouldn't know what to do with it. I wouldn't know what to do with it. I should have given it to one of my brothers because I know they would know what to
I'm
do
not
with it.
eating squirrel. Sorry.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Well, that's our show for tonight. We just wanted to come back on and say we're not dead.
Okay.
We're still here.
Wait, Dad, is Steve Laley? Is that somebody you
Oh,
know?
Steve, yeah. I
He
worked with
said,
Steve for many
okay,
years
I thought it,
at Exxon.
okay. He
Yeah.
said, welcome back.
Yeah.
Yes.
Thanks, Steve.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah,
glad you were able to tune in.
yeah.
Yeah.
So Dad can't see, so I have to. You can't see all the comments.
No, I can't see all the comments. Well, I can see him coming late down here on my little
Late,
screen.
okay.
But yeah, so I run into some of the buddies from time to time, and maybe I can get some Exxon guys over here. But
That would be so
yeah,
cool.
it would be interesting to talk
Yeah,
about
it
it
would.
because you know I spent 30 years out there, and it was a good 30 years. You know,
It was good.
Yeah, it was a very good company to work for in the day when I worked there for sure.
That was back in the good old days.
Yeah, old days anyway. Yeah, absolutely old days.
Say it like when people really. I feel like nowadays, like it's different. It's just different. Everything's different.
Yeah, and it. You know, I don't think I can endure the stresses that some people work through. You know, that it just seems so stressful. Yeah, it is.
And
Life is not easy.
Life isn't easy. And I was saying that, like, I always say that, and I probably shouldn't say that, but I'm like, people just don't care about you anymore. Like they just don't. Not like how they used. It feels that way, should I say? And it's like it kind of sucks.
Yeah. Well, it's easy to have neighbors and never know them or never see them because you're
so
locked in
weird.
and you're indoors.
So, I know, and people are just so like, here the phone, and I can't stand all that.
I was mentioning it the other day at we were at dinner some 6 months ago or something like that, and I looked over to the table at our left, and there were 4 people at the 4 chairs at the table, and all of them were in their phone.
It's like, then why are you going to dinner?
It's like,
why are you going to
it's
dinner?
like there's somebody across from you that couldn't talk if you want to.
Yeah.
But you know that's the challenge we have is to get the screen time down.
Yeah, well, obviously, like I just threw my phone wherever because I was worried about the dang shoes.
Right.
I need to keep track of my phone. That's my problem.
Now I don't want to scare any of the guys off from Exodus 90, but one of the disciplines is to cut the screen time way down and basically to cut off social media. So if you didn't see me communicating on Facebook for the last 90 days, there's a reason for it. I took the app off my phone. I took YouTube off my phone. I took Twitter off my phone because
it's nice.
Oh, it was quieter.
It's so nice because it's a distraction.
Yeah, I think I have like about 300 or 400 little red bubbles up there, the ones that say here right
now. You don't
now.
even want to answer that.
Yeah. But so that's one thing that I hope not to re-embed myself in as extensively as I was before, where I would always go use the screen time and stuff.
Yeah, and I think me, like growing up, like growing up here, like I know my friends and we had such a great experience. I'm sure you did too. And it's like kids nowadays, it's like, the parent, you got to worry about everything. And kids don't, like I used to just jump on my bike and I'd be like, I see it dark.
Well, and that's the way I grew up, which was be back before the street lights come on.
We're always at the pool, or we were here, or we were safe.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? We didn't have, there was nothing.
It's different.
It's different. And we didn't have phones. We were trying to ride our bike and look at a phone. And we were so innocent because you didn't know all the garbage.
Right.
Yeah. So I don't know.
Well,
that's my thing. And also, and also all the poor good people, you were talking earlier, but good people, they always dying so young. And my grandfather used to tell me just send once a day. Just once a day.
Just keep yourself from
just so the good
being too good. Huh?
The good Lord won't take you. So I'm like, well, shoot, Papa, I get that done at like 7 a.m.
Check the list.
Yeah.
Right.
That's just a joke, guys.
Yeah,
Okay.
exactly.
It's just a joke. Okay.
Yeah. All right. Well, we're looking forward to bringing some additional shows to you. Every once in a while, we will pop on just the 2 of us and talk about crazy stuff and what's been going on in our lives. But we're going to have these community guests that we've been bringing on for the last year and a half or so. We'll bring these people back as well. So we thank you a whole lot for coming on board. And we look forward to seeing you next week on Wednesday night when Wendy is going to be here talking all about real estate. It's timely because at this time of the year, you start to want to maybe, if you got something, you want to get into a new school system in the fall, you've got to be planning to put your house on the market, and you'd be looking for one if you're going somewhere else. So,
and she can guide anybody through this process.
Right.
It's not saying that, but she's great. She's good. She's very informative. So I thought it was a good idea to have somebody come on with all the crazy stuff that's been going on with real estate.
All right, guys, we love you. Thanks for tuning in, and we'll see you next week.